Where does this game against Clemson rank in the regular season? Because obviously you played in the final of the national championship. As far as biggest games in the regular season in your tenure at Notre Dame?
I've had a number of them. We've played. The one thing that's interesting, Keyshawn, is that in my 11 years, this is only the second time we've had a top 10 team play at Notre Dame Stadium. Everybody talks about, how we've done against top 10 teams, but we've played them all on the road. And so it's nice to get a top 10 team. The last time we've had a top 10 team here was in 2018, and we beat Stanford. So it's nice to get a top 10 team because they're good teams, right? You want them at home. So I just think, from that perspective, you're getting a really good football team. You're getting it at home. They've got to travel here. We would have liked it to be a little bit cooler for the boys coming up here, but it is what it is.
Hey, Coach,
great weather.
That's what I said, though. I said the one thing that I know is going into Notre Dame with that high grass and that mist and that dew. It's just it psychologically it plays with your mind. That's what I do know.
But now we've changed everything, Keyshawn. You would have tore it up. We now have field turf, and we got a beautiful new locker room.
Oh.
It's going to be 70 degrees.
See, that's a mistake.
It's just well, no, it's not, because we have a great offensive line, and we're going to run the football, and it's a different world. But again, it's exciting. Our guys are excited, but you got to keep it in perspective. This is the first time we've ever been in a conference.
Yeah.
So. We're playing for a conference championship. So, when you're in the Pac-12, it's one game, and they all count. Next week against BC, it counts the same. So it's exciting. It's great that one's playing 4. I'm glad we're playing at home. But if we can't get up next week for BC, it really doesn't matter what we do.
Yeah.
Coach, when I was playing at Duke, Coach K used to always talk about motivation, finding ways to really get your team to that next level psychologically. You guys, you had that 30-3 loss to Clemson in the playoffs 2 years ago. Have you used that as motivation for this week?
Not really. It was a 10-3 game at half, and we lost a couple of key players, and going into half, they scored right before. We had lost Julian Love, our star corner. And they hit a vertical on us, late before the half. But we felt like physically, we were in a pretty good place. Now, that was an immensely talented receiving core. And losing somebody of the caliber of Julian Love, who plays for the Giants now, was a big hit for us. But we felt like, look, that was a great defensive line. And that was a couple years ago. We returned all the same guys on that offensive line that played in that game. So, I don't know that we've had to do a lot of selling to our guys. They played in that game. They know who they're playing against. It's a really, really good football team by what they've done and accomplished. But this is really about playing your best when your best is needed. I mean, it's Saturday night, and our guys have played in these big games before. They just have to execute at the highest level on that one night.
Brian Kelly, Notre Dame Fighting Irish head football coach, joining us here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Coach, you got a young quarterback in DJ, I'll try to say his name, Uiagalelei, coming in to South.
Good for you.
Right?
Good for you.
Right?
What do you guys call him, Coach, real quick? What's his nickname?
No, it's really good freshman quarterback, DJ.
Right? It's hard to say. It's hard to say his name, but you got a young quarterback coming in off of a pretty good performance against BC in the second half of that football game. What do you guys have to do to prepare for him to not have a repeat of that second half throughout the game?
Well, I think, look, they control what they want to do with him. We don't necessarily control it. If they want to get the ball out of his hands quickly, if they want to move the pocket, if they want to do things structurally to protect him, they can certainly do that. He's not a guy that needs a lot of protection. He's really an outstanding football player. What we have to do from our end of things more than anything else is whatever he gets, he's got to earn. And we can't give him free access throws. We can't give him easy throws throughout the evening. So, what looks like a free access throw, maybe it's not a free access throw. What looks like cover 2, maybe it's not cover 2. So just some of those things where he can't sit back there and just say, okay, that's an easy throw. I've seen that 100 times. I'm going to take it, because he hasn't seen it 100 times because he is a freshman. So just trying to mix things up a little bit and get our cleats in the ground and play fast and play physical.
Coach, do you feel like your team gets the respect that warrants being the 4th best team in the country where you guys are currently ranked right now?
It's not really for me to determine that. We've won 12 consecutive games in a row. It's the longest winning streak in college football. We've won 22 consecutive at home. I think we're 29-3 in our last 32. We've won a lot of football games. It's hard to break through this ceiling of Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. Those are great football teams. We're trying to do that, and to break through that, you gotta win a national championship. We've been in the college playoffs a couple of times, but we got to keep banging at that door, and so keep winning football games. Be consistent as a program. Keep winning, and that's all you can do. And then when you get your chance, you got to break through.
It'll be a breakthrough moment if indeed it happens. It is one of the biggest games that we've seen in the ACC in quite some time. Clemson has always kind of been involved in those types of games. And this year, Notre Dame eligible to play in the ACC championship game. And who knows? I mean, I know coach speak is always one game at a time, but this could be the first of a couple of different meetings between the Irish and the Tigers.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.